This is just a very brief video showing you how to create a scatter plot of data in Excel and from that create a line of best fit and find an equation. So what I've got for you here is the plant data from problem number 2 of your work packet on basic skills in graphing. And there's some things here to know about just the format of the data before you even start making a graph. First, ideally you want the X column to be listed on the left and the Y column to be listed on the right, so that when you make the graph it automatically puts everything on the right axis. So make sure you do that. Secondly, these need to be just plain numbers here. Don't put units in when you are entering in the numbers. The units, if you need them, can go in the header. But in the columns themselves, don't put any units in there. It will confuse Excel, and Excel won't know what to do there. So once you have the data, what you need to do is you need to go to Insert, and then come down here to where we have this scatter plot. You click on that. It gives you some options. We just want this first one here, just a normal scatter plot. Then it creates your basic graph. The things we can do to make it a little bit nicer, first you can right-click on the data, and it gives you this context menu here, and you tell it to add trend line, and it gives you a nice little trend line. Something else that you're going to want whenever you add a trend line or a line of best fit is you want to display the equation. So this gives you the slope and the y-intercept by giving you an equation y equals mx plus b. Now you need to know in this case that y is your plant height and that x is your days of growth, and put the right variables in accordingly. But that will give you an equation there. Then you can just do some things to pretty up the graph if you want. One thing, I don't like these crosshatches in the back, so if you click on those and hit the delete button, not the backspace, but the one that says delete or DEL, it gets rid of those crosshatches. The other thing you can mess around with is just adding some titles and things like that. To add the axes titles, what you'll do is you have to go into the design section, and this is for Office 2013, but you have to go to add chart element and axes titles, primary, horizontal. So this one, we said the x-axis here was our days of growth. We can do the same thing. We can add chart element to axes title. For the vertical, this one is plant height in centimeters. All right, and you know that looks like a pretty good graph. It's got a title, it's got labeled axes, there's a line of best fit, there's an equation. So those are sort of the essential skills that you'll need for using Excel in physics. Please try and make sure that you have those so that we can get through labs as quickly as possible. And I just sort of put this on here as a refresher if you didn't catch it while I was going through it in class.